Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is now August the 27th to the 29th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia. And Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.
Are you? Am I? Are we the
Green and Black Rangers? Yep.
Sweet! This is a dream come true. I know, right? Hold that thought. Skirts aren't really my thing.
Tess Rao, ma'am, how are you doing so far?
I'm good. Like I said before, we're in lockdown again in New Zealand. So a lot of time being spent at home, trying to just stay productive, stay active, keep the spirits up. But you know, I've been at home quite a bit since we've finished shooting anyway, so it's all right. I'm not doing too badly.
Yeah, I heard like you have lockdown again in New Zealand. So I mean, prayers for you guys there. Like, hope you guys keep safe.
Thank you. Hopefully, yeah, it was expected to happen again, with the world at the moment. So just trying to keep our spirits up and do what we can for the rest of the country and stay inside, wear masks, social distance, all that. We all know.
Yes. So guys, stay safe out there. Hello guys, welcome to another interview of the Morphin Network. We have Tessa Rao, the first female Green Ranger in Power Ranger history. So it's an honor to interview you. Like, thank you.
An honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and again, thank you so much, Clement, for being my special guest. My partner,
yeah.
Show you the Green Ranger reporter from Karson's Corner. So, Mike, if you're watching this,
yeah,
awesome.
Okay.
So, I guess the interview started. So, Tessa, how did you start with acting?
I actually started singing first. Was my kind of what started me. I started singing when I was 3, and I did classical singing for most of my childhood. And then kind of that naturally moved into musical theatre. Did a couple of like drama things in primary or elementary school. And then when I was a teenager, I went to a thing called the National Youth Drama School, which is like a 10-day sort of workshop type school annual thing that happens, and people from all over the country and sometimes other parts of the world come, and you do like kind of courses and taster courses. And that's really what sparked my love for like screen acting, more than just theatre, which I also love. And then that kind of moved me into doing stuff again in school, and I suddenly realized that even though I love theatre and I want to do it, that film and television was this kind of passion of mine that I couldn't get out of my head. And that kind of brought me to where we are now. That's a very long story short.
Oh, wow. Do you have a favorite musical in mind?
Oh, that's hard. Les Mis was the one that like got me started. Eponina's like my dream role. But I'm such a fan of In the Heights, Hamilton, Dear Evan Hansen, Heathers. there are so many that I don't even know. There are so many that I love. It's hard to pick. Do you guys have a favorite?
Me is always gonna be Les Mis is one, but I'll say it's Lion King. Lion King for me. Oh, and of course Miss Saigon. Miss Saigon got me in love with Broadway. Got me in love with Broadway just because I love Lea Salonga. I'm a huge Aladdin, Jasmine, Mulan fan. So
She's incredible.
Yeah, Miss Saigon was my first that got me into Broadway. So,
I love that.
I would say like Phantom of the Opera, Les Miserables, and Sweeney Todd. Like I can sing Sweeney Todd. Like it was just fun.
That sounds like such a cool musical to be a part of. Like it would be so much fun. Yeah.
I mean, adding to that, do you play any musical instrument or just sing?
I do. I play piano and guitar. Definitely, I'm better on piano than I am guitar. Guitar is kind of something that I picked up myself. I'd say singing is the number one, but I do enjoy accompanying myself and playing those instruments.
For guys watching, so watch out just in case people try to ask you to sing now. So don't worry. If you're down, so guys, no, don't ask me questions right now.
There will be, for people that want this, there will be a lot more content singing wise coming. Again, because we're in the lockdown, some of that has been put on hold. I don't actually have a mic that I want to use at my home yet, so I can't do as much now, but there is stuff coming, so keep an eye out.
Well, if you're in the future of musicals, we will like to see your future performance if you ever go on the stage. And
I would love that.
Yeah, we would love that too. And speaking of audition, like what is the audition process like for Power Rangers for you?
I know Hunter said in hers that it's been a bit different for all of us. Mine, I think, was possibly the most different because it was so kind of, there were two parts of it. So quite a while before I actually originally auditioned for J-Borg, was my first Rangers audition. I don't think anyone will ever see that tape. It was very out of my comfort zone, and I remember feeling really proud of myself just for doing it because it was so, and I mean, Victoria, I just hats off to her because she kills it as J-Borg. And then I got asked to audition for a Ranger quite soon after that, and that's when I did the stunt tape that Hunter was talking about as well. Those two things happened. Didn't hear anything back for quite a while, and now that I look back at the tape, I know why. I played the tone incredibly wrong. It was very dramatic and very like kind of 10-episode miniseries type acting, and that's just not Rangers, you know? So yeah, didn't hear anything for quite a while, kind of carried on with life, and then suddenly got asked to audition for a her name was Frankie in the audition, but her name's Annie in the show. I got asked to audition for Annie, and then a couple days after that, again got asked to audition for a Ranger, and I kind of went, didn't I already do that? Like, is this a different series or like different season or what? And my agent was like, look, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. You're not going to say anything. Just put the tape down and do it. And that was in like a Zoom audition, a Skype audition. And as soon as I heard the reader speak, I kind of went, oh, that's where you want it. Okay, cool. So I did that audition and then got told pretty quickly that I had been put on hold for both of those roles, and was kind of waiting to find out if I'd got one of them. Waited for a few days, kind of feeling antsy, and then finally found out that my agent actually tricked me and had been like, oh, I know that we said that if you didn't get a Ranger, you'd probably get this other role. Fortunately, that's not going to happen. And I kind of went, oh, my heart sunk. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to do this. It's fine. And then he went, because you'll be too busy playing Power Ranger. And I screamed at him.
Yeah, we didn't know, we didn't expect you to be, to be a female, because of course Senta was a male. I was like, holy shoot. My first green female, I was like, let's go.
Oof.
It's an honor. It really is an honor. And I love green. I didn't realize how much I loved green until this show. And thank goodness, because I have to wear it a lot.
Yes, and I also be a part of that too. Woo!
Yeah, so this guy loves your Senna counterpart a lot, and even your Ranger a lot. So, I mean, he has a little story to tell you about it.
I reviewed the Japanese version of the Dino Fury, and when as I finished watching the whole series, I knew like my friends asked me, well, who's your favorite character? I say it's the Green Ranger, because the Green Ranger in the Japanese version is smart, is competitive, very strong-willed, and always like to go toe-to-toe against the Red Ranger in the Japanese version, and they just like to compete. It's like, I want to prove that I'm also the same level and the same alpha like you. That's why I pick the Green Ranger is going to make a huge impact for the Power Ranger version.
I love that. How did you find that? How did you find reviewing it?
Oh, I had so much fun, and it's just incredible. And the first thing I got was the Green Ranger key, and I have it with me, and and I still have it. It's somewhere there here. But I got you, and I have the support.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Like legit, when he found out that that you were playing as a Green Ranger and was also female, he's like, "All right, I'm getting." Because he did love the Green Rio Soldier before like Cypher showed up. So this guy actually loved the Green Ranger a lot. So now, can you tell us what was your experience filming Power Rangers? But no sport again. With no anything you could say. Yeah.
Look, it was an amazing experience. Is the first thing I'd say. The cast, the crew, everyone involved in production, everyone in the team was just incredible to work with. I'd been waiting for what felt like years. It had probably been about 10 years that I'd been kind of dreaming of like my first lead role in a TV show or a film, and it did not disappoint. It exceeded all expectations. It was incredibly tiring at times, very long days, very long hours, which is to be expected. But I think the people make any experience. And for me, that was a huge part of it. And then just playing Izzy, she's just so cool. Like, she's so much cooler than me. She really is. And I kind of look up to her, even though she's younger than me. I kind of look up to her as like, what would Izzy do in this situation, So that was a really cool part of it. There's a lot that I would love to tell you, but unfortunately, like you say, I can't. And I think that's good, because I think that it will be better. The less we know going into each episode, the better, the more you'll get out of it.
There you go, guys. I mean, the thing I would ask is like, so is it, you guys did work long hours, right? So, I mean, can you tell us like plan, like you wake up early, going to breakfast, like can you tell us even catering, is it true catering actually is good at Power Rangers?
Oh yeah, our catering was great. We had because we have two different units in the show. So sometimes we'd start on main unit, sometimes we'd start on second unit, and they had different catering companies for each of those units. And then halfway through, they swapped over. So we kind of got to have a good experience of both, and the food was so good. Yeah, I'm not a morning person. Everyone that knows me can attest. I'm pretty sure my mum is watching this, and she will attest that I am not a morning person. So that was always quite hard for me to like get up every morning that early. But we got there. And so yeah, we'd have breakfast. Sometimes it was pretty rushed. Sometimes we had quite a bit of time. It was kind of different each day depending on what scenes were first or who was shooting first, whether you'd go into makeup, wardrobe, or have breakfast first, like what it might be. But on your call sheet, you kind of have the times set up, so before you even go in, like, okay, I'll have my breakfast, like my breakfast time is at this time, or my wardrobe calls at this time. So you kind of feel a bit more prepared. And yeah, then we just get straight onto set, have like a bit of a crew call, have a chat, see how everyone was going, and then kind of get straight into it, and then film all day. And it was amazing. It was a dream.
Yeah, like I mean, you do watch your Instagram stories, your TikTok videos, and you could tell you guys were having so much fun.
Yeah,
especially you guys pranking Jordy. We see them. But again, so Clement,
I got pranked as well when I was on. Yeah, I got pranked by costume guys. He put up this, like, they had like a dummy of a human body dummy, and I think that they'd used it and they were kind of waiting to. Oh, I think it was for the camping trip, actually, the camping episode, which is out, so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
And he didn't really know, like, I think it was going to be going the next day or whatever, and he was like, I want to do something funny with this. And so he like spent so much time propping up this dummy in the trailer like this, like literally like tied up by a rope, like to be standing with, I can't think of whose face it was, but it was a really famous actor's face. And Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like dropped forward when the door opened, but it kind of just stayed there, and I got such a fright. I got such a fright, and so yeah, I got some pranks played on me too.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I did watch that. Wait, were you actually in the ball? No, you were in the ball, right?
At times, yeah.
Oh,
I actually did more of that than I think they'd planned. I was like, get me in that ball. I want to do as much of it as I can. Like, come on, I can do it. So we ended up filming more than I think was originally planned because I just really wanted to be as involved in that stunt as possible.
so was that actually your hair, or was it like a wig? Yeah.
And that was my hair.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we had to film something that you might notice as well is we filmed that where I like jump up and it's massive before we filmed the scene that like is leading up to that. So they had to put my hair back in place and try to make it look as normal as possible. But it had just been like leaves had been in it. It had been teased. It looked massive. And they had to like pull it back in. Movie magic.
And your first appearance, like you and your partner Chance, like have this incredible fight scene in the forest. Like, what was your experience filming the fight scenes? Like, it was unbelievable. Like more phenomenal, like times 100.
Yeah, that's the director, man. Like that's Kenji directed that particular block, and he has such a vision. Always, like he's just both of the directors, the entire second unit team, but his vision is just so incredible, and what he sees before anything's been shot is just amazing. I have to say, like filming certain things in fight scenes all of it was really amazing, but there were certain things that I definitely felt really confident in doing, and then there were certain things where I was like, and that's when having the support of the second unit stunt team, not just the stunties, but like the entire crew, was kind of just the most incredible thing, because whenever I had a question, there was always somebody who was, even if they weren't free, who would take the time to kind of step aside and be like, here's how I would do it. Here's how it could maybe be made easier to like make it quicker, or here's a good little trick I use when I'm finding this hard. So those kind of things were like just the most incredible thing to have, because it meant that when there were those moments of like, I don't know if I can do this, that you felt immediately like, okay, nah, I'm good. I got this. I've got this entire team behind me. Like I've got to make them proud, you know?
Well, you did show us that when you were using the javelin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to also say that I won't take credit for some of the stunts that they do. The most incredible stunts are our stunties, and they are insane. So I don't want to take full credit for any of it, because some of it is just our incredible stunt team.
Yeah,
they're so good. They're so disciplined. Oh, I couldn't speak highly enough of them.
Yeah, I mean, especially like the stunt, like I mean, like they're one of the souls and heart of the Power Rangers series, even since the beginning. Like, to keep you guys safe. And, of course, doing stunts that are kind of hard and also dangerous, entertain us and keep us happy. So, props to them and respect. So.
Yeah. Snaps to that.
To add to that, like, after the question, like, can you tell us, like, what was, like training for your, like, action sequence in general for an episode?
So, I know Hunter mentioned we had... a couple of weeks in pre-production to train. I actually came late to that pre-production, again, because my casting was kind of quite quick at the end there. So I was a little late to the party, which meant that they'd had a little bit more time. But because I wasn't filming the first block, Chance and I weren't, neither of us were in that first block. So we had opportunities to go on set, not only watch really cool things that we wouldn't have otherwise seen, but get to spend some time each day, like training with the stunties that weren't working, like weren't filming in that moment. And so that really helped, like, especially for what Hunter said, safety, making sure that we were always feeling as safe as possible when we were doing stunts. And then if there were big fight sequences, we'd get those maybe like a week or so in advance. We'd have some time to start learning that fight sequence. And then as time went on, they might adjust things, whether it be for time or the shots they wanted to do. So those fights would kind of slowly shift and change as time went on. And then usually on the day, they'd be like, okay, we've also changed this. You'd be like, okay. And so we would have a good little chunk of time before we shot to really finesse the moves and make sure that we were comfortable with it and go over it. And they were really patient with us as well, even if there was like time, a time limit, and they were probably in their heads going like, we've got to get through this. They were always very much trying to make us feel as comfortable and get the best shot as possible. So yeah, it was a really cool experience.
Definitely. And of course, you guys killed out there. I mean, it's only been 12 episodes. You guys rock it, so I love you guys actually. Especially you. You have, yeah, it is your stunt double, but you actually do have good scenes too. Like your Ranger itself, I actually love your Ranger. Like we all do. Like you actually watch our podcast, we keep giving you guys high praise, especially your character is Izzy. So.
Oh yay! Thank you. That makes me really happy.
Now speaking of Izzy, can you tell us what's your experience and how does it feel to be the very first female green Power Ranger in Power Ranger history?
I don't think I'll ever truly understand how cool it is, if that makes sense. Like I know it's incredible, and it's honestly, it's such an honor. I feel so humbled and generous and like so what's the word I'm looking for, appreciative of the opportunity that I've been given, not only just to play a Ranger but to play this particular Ranger. Is such an honor, but I don't think that I'll ever there's a level of it that I think, because I didn't grow up with Power Rangers, it kind of hit me after I found out that it was such a big thing. And I think that was a really cool experience to suddenly realize like, oh wow, this hasn't happened before. Because when I first got cast, it was you're playing a Ranger, and that was the cool part. And then suddenly I found out like, oh no, this is kind of a moment in history for this franchise, and that it still remains to be like this kind of pinch myself moment. Every time I realize and remember, I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, so thankful.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, when we first announced you were going to be female, it was going to be female. Like, well, what? A female Green Ranger? Like, yeah, because you didn't know there actually was female counterparts before. So I didn't know like Beast Morphers was supposed to have like a Green Ranger. Well, rumor has it was going to be female Green Ranger. Of course, that was like rumors. But in the Ninja, like the Ninja Steel season, yeah, there was actually a green female Ranger. So like, it's going to happen. So I'm actually glad now this season, a very special season 2, gets a female Green Ranger. And also, I don't know if you knew this, but you know that your Zor's a saber-tooth tiger, right? So basically, you're like the first saber-tooth tiger since the original Morphin Yellow Ranger. Mm-hmm. So I mean, again, like, how does it feel to at least maybe your character honoring Toei Trang's original Yellow Ranger?
That's even like that feels like the same. Just such an honor. She has such a legacy, and you know, I want to do her proud, and do her character proud, and try to be as representative of the legacy that she created back then now as Izzy. And I think that I've always been someone that feels that representation is so important. Mm-hmm. And it feels cool to me also just to have another girl on the team. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, yes, girl power. So that part of it too is something that I find really awesome. But yeah, I mean, I just hope that I'm doing her and her character proud.
Also, you also did talk about like cast and like in diversity. Like, your cast is very diverse, very very diverse. So
I'm very
proud of that. Like, of course, you have Kai, representing the Asian American side. Russell, who is also African American and Asian American side. Same with like Chance or Latino, everyone else. So that's why I'm so proud. Like, I love it.
Yes.
It makes me, I remember seeing the headshots on the first day, like really knowing who it was and looking up and being like, that really does feel like more of a reflection of what I think there's always going to be lack of representation in some area on every show. You can't represent absolutely everybody all the time. But I think that if you're trying to create the most accurate reflection of what our society looks like, and that's your like goal, you're always going to be doing better than if you're not really thinking about it. And it felt like when I looked up that had been something they were keeping in mind, that they tried to kind of cover as many bases and obviously also just choose the people that were right for the role and their characters, not just in terms of their ethnicity or what they look like, but that whilst it was the people that deserved the roles, it was also kind of a bit of a diverse range of places and people that exist in this world.
Any fun behind the scenes moments like while filming Power Rangers?
That you could tell,
Yeah,
of course. That you could tell.
Too many to count, honestly. So many, so much laughter. So many moments of turning and finding someone napping in their seat with their mouth open, which was always my favorite. Just like pulling out the phone and kind of quickly videoing, getting heaps of footage, especially near the end there, people were getting tired. And so you'd kind of take your opportunities to have a little power nap if you weren't shooting for a while. And so I'm always awake pretty much. So I was like always on it, just trying to film. Yeah, I would jam a lot with Chance, which was really fun. Sometimes he'd bring his guitar in, or Tihima, one of our costume guys, who's also a film composer, he had a guitar that he'd bring in sometimes, and so we'd get to like have a little jam on our lunch times. Some, just like lots of funny moments within the script too, and having fun with the scripts on set, and then just all the time that we got to spend together outside of shooting was awesome. But there are a lot of funny moments and a lot of bloopers that hopefully one day people can watch that I think they'll really enjoy, because there was a lot of laughter.
Oh,
Okay.
laughters. Okay.
Yeah.
Any funny moments that you shared with your castmates?
I'm trying to think of one that doesn't give any spoilers away. Or maybe I'll try to think of one from an episode that's out. It's hard because it's like 9 months of so much that when you actually try to pinpoint specific memories, sometimes your brain, when someone asks you what your favorite song is and every song in the entire universe leaves your head, that's like this. I'm trying to think. Hunter mentioned something about Russell and Jordan, and I knew exactly what she was talking about. I'm trying to think of a good one. It's really hard. This is not giving the impression that we had any fun times on set, but it's just my memory.
Okay, so let me get here. The first time you appeared, your first episode with your stepbrother.
Mhm.
Oh, I've got a good one that's not necessarily involving the rest of the cast, although that some of them were there. Involving the javelin. So when I was like 13, maybe a little younger, I threw a javelin for my athletics class, and maybe the second or third time I did it ever, I smacked myself in the back of the head with the javelin.
Ooh.
And I stopped class, and I'm pretty sure I don't think I had to go home, but I certainly wasn't in PE after that for like the rest of the class. And I swore no more throwing things in athletics, no more javelin, no more shot put, no more anything. I don't want something heavy hitting my head. And then the first day on set, what am I doing? I'm throwing a javelin. And so that was quite fun and quite funny and also terrifying for me. Playing around with the javelin, like Russell was having a go at like doing that kind of that whip thing that he does, and I was having to throw this javelin in front of like 50 athletic students that were playing extras and were all really, really good at their chosen sport. And so that was very funny as a team to like just get to play around with the javelin and embarrass myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that
so.
I have a special question from a special friend of ours. His name is Brandon. He's asking.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know who's that. He's asking, like, what is your thought that you look like Luigi? You look like Luigi with the hat and overalls. Oh, she's asking if you thought you looked like Luigi with the hat and overalls.
Luigi, I'm gonna look this up. Who are you talking? Luigi with that?
The Mario character's brother. Like
Yeah.
So he's asking if you thought he looked like
And when I'm wearing the overalls, I look like. Oh my gosh, I fully do.
Oh wait, he's like saying there's a bunch of. Oh, now I know it's.
I'm in my backward skirt with the overalls and the green shirt. I fully. That's Luigi vibes. Yeah, I do. I've never. This is like the best thing I've ever seen.
It's a Tessa.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
All right.
I don't know.
You said there's a lot of memes in Power Ranger community about that. So now
No. Well, you know, there are worse things to be compared to. I'll take it.
So basically, be like, it's Tessa.
It's Tessa. It's Izzy.
Izzy.
I do love Italian food.
Oh, okay.
I love pizza's my favorite. Pasta's pretty close up there. Gelato, like, give it to me. I know that's not all the Italian food that exists in the world, but like, give it to me. So I'll take it.
Same thing. I love
right.
lasagna and of course, pistachios. I mean, I actually have a pistachio right now, so.
Look at you.
I like a nice prosciutto.
Nice.
Nice.
Look at you. That's really good.
Next prosciutto.
Get that roll.
Okay, so Clement, you actually have the next question.
So what's it like experience filming Into the Rainbow?
Yes, I actually watched that.
Oh, wow, that was a long time ago. That was my first feature film ever. Like professional feature, probably feature film ever in general, actually. Yeah. And that was incredible. I was filming opposite Willow Shields, who, for those of you who know the name, played Primrose Everdeen in the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
So she came to New Zealand. Yeah, she's incredible. And actually met. So I don't know if you guys know, if you guys remember Fern.
Yes, I do.
No?
Yeah.
So Jacqueline Joshi plays Fern, incredible, wonderful actress as well, and human. She actually was in Into the Rainbow as well, and she played Willow's like friend in the show, and I was sort of one of the antagonists, this sort of her age antagonist, and then there was another antagonist that was older. And so I actually first met Jackie there, and then kind of stumbled upon the fact that she was ending up playing someone across from me in this show too, which was really cool. And that was where I first did one of my first film stunts as well. That kind of got offered to me because I'd been harping on about how much I loved doing stunt or wanted to do stunts. And this kind of head of stunts was like, hey, do you want to give this stunt a go? So I got to slide across a cop car and smack on the hood of the cop car and yell something not very nice at them and then run off. And that was my first like stunt. And so that was really cool. And that really ignited the flame and kind of confirmed to me like this part of this industry is what I want to do, film and television. So overall great experience. Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, like was there a time you actually played a cop or a security guard? Wait, as a true, I think I remember. Wait, what? I know because I remember there's something that looked like you as a security guard.
I need to delete this demo reel of mine.
Wait, I'm serious. Like, wait, is it true? Like, you're
I wrote that, as well as being in it. That was for college when I was studying in LA. We had to make short films, and that was my short film that I wrote. It was a mockumentary about a security guard, like on a drama school, like a conservatory campus like ours, drama school campus. And it was essentially this character that had wanted to be an actor and had kind of tried to weasel her way into attending the school by just being a security guard, which like wasn't going to work because she's not even in the classes. And so she really thought that she was like part of the team, and everyone's like, who are you? And not, if I did it again, there are definitely things I'd change. So I'm a little bit, but I'm proud of it all in all.
Oh, so that was a okay, yeah, because so me, I always go to YouTube, and I did see a woman that looked like you as a security guard trying to mess around with like this parking person. I think that was 2 years ago or last year. So nice to know to you.
Yeah, it was very fun. It was a very fun shoot.
Yeah, small world, and that was funny. I actually did laugh. So.
Yeah.
I did watch this. So what was your experience filming behind the cover? And good job, by the way. I actually liked it.
Thank you. That was also a part of my college at the time. That was more so like near the end of our studying, though. We made a kind of bigger short film, and that was a much bigger project. And we decided to do ours kind of surrounding the idea of gun violence, something that's kind of, I think, affected all of us at this point. Even if we've not been directly affected by it, we know about it. It's something that I'm quite passionate about talking about and discussing with a lot of different people as well. But this was mostly surrounding the idea of a mass shooting, which is not a very nice topic. And so we made this short film and kind of created this storyline of different people and their day and how they were all brought together in this moment. And that was really, it was really not fun to shoot. I wouldn't say it was fun to shoot because there were a lot of really intense moments, but really, really cool experience to do. And I was really happy with, again, you know, I think it's the same with anything that you do in college. There are always things that you look back on and would change or shift or adjust. But all in all, I was really, really proud of that. And I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah, because I did watch it like 4 days before doing, for this interview. And I'll say, like, it's actually really not that bad. And it's like the movie, like, the movie Crash, where, like, different scenarios happen and some...
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, like, similar to that. I was like, okay, so... I love this kind of movies. It's interesting, like, documentaries, stuff like that. It's, like, interesting. Like, their point of view, or, like, basically a butterfly effect, or, like, okay, so, person's point of view, so it's kind of cool. So, yeah, I'm actually... Yeah, I mean, I love it, so that's a good project you did, so...
Thanks. Definitely something I'd love to do something like that on a bigger scale one day. Especially with what I know now, I think I've learned quite a lot since making those things, both from being on set and just in my own life as well. So I think I'd love to do something like that on a bigger scale one day. I think it's really hard to tell stories like that, and if you can find ways to do it that's both not like super triggering, but also, and also like not romanticizing anything, but like is telling these stories that need to be told, it would be a really cool opportunity. Yeah, also plus it does help like spread awareness too, because I do work for public health, and that was actually a really good appropriate representation of the topic that's discussed. Yeah. Thank you. That makes me really, really happy to hear. Thank you. So congrats, I mean, you guys did it really well. So and the right way. We definitely used tear sticks at some point. Some of those were real tears, and some of those were like, okay, we've been shooting this for hours and none of us have any tears left. Let's get the tear stick and make tears start coming.
What would be your advice to any aspiring actor or actress?
When I remember hearing something once from a tutor saying, if there's anything else in this world that you would rather do that would bring you just as much happiness as this industry, choose that. Do that one. Trust me, do that. And I don't mean that in a discouraging way, and neither did he. For me, when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, so this is what I'm meant to be doing, because there is nothing else. There are other things I think I'd be good at, but nothing else that would bring me the level of satisfaction and joy that telling stories and performing and singing would do. And so from there, I would say, if your answer is no, there's nothing else, then like fight for it. Do everything you can to keep learning, read plays, watch movies, watch things that you wouldn't necessarily normally watch for your own enjoyment, and analyze, see what you like about that person's performance, what you don't. Go to as many courses as you can. And then people always like, what's your plan B? What's your backup? And I never liked that, because I kind of thought, look, if I don't back myself 100% and I know me, how can I expect a casting director, a producer, an audience member to back me even half that much? So I kind of think from there, if your answer is nah, this is what I want to do, then just keep pushing. There will be an opportunity if you just keep improving and learning. Something will come along at some point, and you've just got to keep going.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
There actually is a name for that. What you said, there actually is a term for that. It's actually called mama mentality. So, and it is his birthday today, so happy birthday, Kobe. So,
he's a huge Kobe Bryant fan.
but it is mama mentality. That is mama mentality right there. So persevere, always working hard, and keep pushing yourself. And
I feel like he was someone that you could look up to and be like, that's how I want to think. That's how I want to move forward in my career. Just keep going. Mama mentality.
That's right. So my last question for you guys is, what legacy do you hope to leave on this world?
That's a heavy question. I think there are a lot of things that I think we could be as a society doing better. And I think that it's also really easy for us to say that and really hard to implement that or find ways that can actually happen productively and effectively. So for me, I think I would just really love to, if I'm lucky enough to have the platform I have right now, but if I'm lucky enough to have a bigger platform or whatever that might be in my future, to be a voice and an advocate for those communities, for those issues that we have in this world. Trying not only to educate myself more and learn from experts that know more about it than I do, but then share that information and share those kind of more backed up arguments and like people that understand it even better than I do to the people that are within my kind of area or what, the reach that I have. So for me, I think that's kind of one of my biggest things. And like I said before, representation, I'd like to be able to create stuff of my own one day. And I think for me, not only having representation, but having the right kind of representation. I was watching a documentary of a very, very close friend of mine's the other day. And it was surrounding the idea of representation and actually the idea that misrepresentation can at times be more dangerous or more negatively impactful than no representation at all. Telling people's stories in the wrong way can actually be quite harmful to viewers that don't have much other representation. So for me in my career, I'd really, really love to be able to be a part of or create stories that tell a range of people's stories and tell them in the right way. And kind of try to, again, make more of a reflection of the society we live in as it is today, which I think that we're making strides in. I think it's getting better, but I think there's a lot, especially in mainstream film and TV, that can still be improved, and I'd love to be a part of that.
Yes,
definitely.
Like films right now, like representation done the right way, like Shang-Chi, Marvel, and everything. Like anything is coming out. So great talk. Great advice too. Great answer. Sorry, that was deep. So I'm like, that was actually really deep. I'm trying to like suck it up. Yes. So Tessa, we are now. That's our 10 question part. Now we have to do some fan questions. Are you ready for them?
I'm ready. Let's go.
So for the fans, first off, she's still under contract, so please no asking her next. So I'm sorry, guys. I do see them right now. I'm sorry. Maybe in the future we'll ask. So yeah, keep it. Okay, so let's go. We will go with Aaron Gelbs. He's asking, "Hi Tessa, I just want to tell you that you've done an excellent job with your character. How was the Morphing sequence filmed? I sent you a hug from Argentina." Aw. Thank
you. I send you a hug back. Thank you. The morphing sequence, I'm assuming like you mean like the
yeah.
That was all green screen. So we had like a day where we were in, it's actually like where we filmed it was kind of right by Ranger Base. It's in the same studio as Ranger Base, but it was not in Ranger Base, obviously. And I believe I actually had to have a blue screen. They had to bring in a blue screen for me because obviously it couldn't be green on green.
Yeah.
So it was blue screen, but the rest of them were green screen. And it was in bits. So we did each part of it. One of us would do that part and we'd do it over and over again until they found like the one that they they liked, and then they'd move on to the next person who'd do that part as well. And so it was kind of in bits and pieces, and we all got a bit of a break and then to go back and do the next part. And then we actually ended up having to film little bits of it later, because with like green screen, for example, my hair, which is just notoriously difficult, when little bits like come out, if it's not all kind of compact, you can see the green and then it kind of messes it up, so that it has to be very particular and specific in how they film it. So that was what I would say took quite a bit of time in that, and we kind of carved out, I believe, like a whole day of just filming all of those bits and pieces for the morphing sequence. All the like on the thing, we had to be like propped up. It took a lot of muscles. Like it was hard at times to kind of stay there and be doing it, but it was really fun. Very, very cool experience.
Can I just give you props for having one of the most like badass like morphing sequence for a long time. I mean, again, I love you guys. I love the other sequences, but come on, the music. I'll say the morphing music is what got me. I was like, okay, I love it. I love it. So
the score in the show is. I remember the first time I like watched an episode or heard it maybe in ADR, and I was like, "What is this? This is so cool!" And every time the morphing sequence comes up, I'm like, "Yes!" Even though that's me, I get so hyped up. I'm like, "Yeah."
Paramus Karson, greetings from Mumbai, India. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
His question is, have you watched any episodes of your Real and did you say your Sunday counterpart Toa? Oh, okay. Your Sunday counterpart.
I have watched. I wouldn't say that I studied really much going in, again, because it was so quick from finding out I had the job to like starting the show, that I think the kind of the actor in me really didn't want to be if I'd studied it, I would have wanted to have spend a lot of time studying how previous series had been, studying that version, like my counterpart, really getting into understanding. I didn't want to do a half-hearted attempt and then miss, like, be inaccurate in that representation. So for me, it felt more important at the time that I had to really learn who Izzy was as a character and find her like on paper, so that when we started shooting, I could kind of make the most informed decisions in the moment of how she might respond to something on that day. That kind of felt more beneficial to me with the time that I had. So I ended up doing something more like that.
Aiden, one of our youngest fans, he's very young. He says, "That's right, you're awesome." Oh, that's what Aiden.
Oh, awesome.
Hey.
How you doing, Aiden? Do you have any Indian roots?
I do. Yeah. My dad is Indian, so I'm half Indian. And yeah, South Indian. But I was born and grew up here in New Zealand, so very much a part of me, something that I'm very proud of, but I was born and raised here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, awesome, South Asian Green Ranger. Sorry, for us, like, oh, okay, let's go. Okay, anyway.
I'm very proud.
Brown's asking, did Hunter ever say she was...
That's a good question. I don't think she ever said that she wished she could rip it off. I think she liked her skirt. I think it suits her and Amelia really well. So I think for her that was never. But I think she quite loved that Izzy did. So like she loved that it happened, but I think she was happy with the fact that she got to also wear a skirt.
I also think when she does her proper, like a scene, like, okay, like slow motion, like, okay, that's actually kind of cool. Like,
that was, yeah.
Okay. Good question. Hello, Tessa. How did you film the life raft in episode 9? Okay.
Like the
life
raft scene, like the one in the big ball.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we had, like I said before, we started by doing the scene at the bottom of the hill where I like jump up and I'm all shaken up. And so I was in like a deflated one at that point. And then I got out of all of that. I think we moved up and maybe filmed a couple other things before. And then some of it was filmed with a dummy. So they like kind of pushed a dummy in it down the hill, and filmed some of that. And then they put me in the like in a inflated one, and I had my like arms out, and when you see my face like rolling, that was the extra scene that they hadn't originally planned to do. And I was like, no, put me in there. And the director was like, do you want to do this? Oh, yes. Was that. So then they kind of pushed me continuously and had a camera following my face moving down. So we did a couple of rehearsals of that in slow motion to like make sure that I was comfortable and make sure that everyone was being safe. And then we filmed a couple takes just kind of going ham, and I had to like really like move my body up and down and like scream and really overemphasize, because obviously the thing wasn't actually moving as much as it looks like it is. So that kind of came in with editing and sound and stuff like that. I think they did a really good job, and it was very fun.
Oh man, looks really fun. I wish I could.
I love.
Dave Plow, the owner of Monterey Con, it says hi. It says hi. Well, hi, Dave.
Hi.
Owner of Monterey Con, so hopefully check it out. Let's see. Oh, so again, your fan Brandon is saying that your Luigi question. So.
Oh yes.
That's
goodness sake. Even my face in that moment looks kind of Luigi. That's yeah, I'm here for it. I keep wobbling my table. I'm sorry if it's suddenly going. I keep getting excited and hitting my table. I need to calm down.
Oh my god. Release the Tessa Snyder.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Morphicon.
Seth, then a bit cheeky, Seth. Come on. Maybe one day. Maybe like when everything's out, and maybe I'll just be like, hey, here's this.
So Twitter, Instagram, just put hashtag tags. No, just kidding.
Oh god, it starts trending.
Hashtag release.
I'd rather not trend.
It's trending on the small disc right here.
He does have a question though, but that's my cousin. So he's asking, what would be your five team Green Ranger team? Oh, okay, so you and 4 other Green Rangers in the past.
Okay, do you know what? When I watched Hunter's interview, I wrote some things down just in case I got because I didn't want to be. Okay, I think this is what I think it would be. So it's me and 5 others, or me and 4 others.
4 others. So you and 4 others.
Okay, so Tommy, obviously, Mighty Morphin. Mike from Samurai.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I feel like I just loved that his like suit was so cool. Was actually probably most of my reasoning. Trip from Time Force.
Oh yeah, let's go. I love Time Force. So.
And Cam from Ninja Storm.
Oh. I mean Dr. Chan. He is a doctor in real life, so we call him Dr. Chan. So yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's an actual doctor in real life.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yes. So Jason, if you're watching this, she picked you. I mean Dr. Chan, if you're watching this, she picked you. So.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I'd go with.
Yes.
Wow, what a team.
One where it was like, if you had to choose the ones that weren't Rangers, who would it be? Like not from our series. I wrote those down too if you want to know that at some point.
Aha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kim Williams, yes, I can read your name. Kim Williams. Greetings, Tesla. I love your English accent. Question: can you describe your reaction in regards to the fans' comments to them? Okay.
Okay, so first I just want to so much love. Firstly, hi. I'm New Zealander. I'm Kiwi, so it's a Kiwi accent, but I get the confusion. They sound really similar. I was really, really happy. I was so happy with the reaction. I feel like it brought a tear to my eye on multiple occasions, seeing some of the responses, because I feel like look, I'm all for a skirt. I love a skirt. I love a dress. I also love jeans and sweatpants and shorts and leggings. I like it all. And I think that's a lot of women in this day and age. I wish it was more of I wish it was more acceptable for men to wear skirts and kilts or skirts. I'm aiming for that to be something that happens in my time. But in terms of this, I think that it was so important for a lot of those people to feel like there was a female ranger that more accurately represented how they would want to be dressed if they were a ranger. And I remember specifically, I don't know if you guys know Ranger Liz.
Yes, she's actually one of a good friend of ours. So yeah,
firstly, I absolutely love her reviews. I just think she's so intelligent in how she notices things and how she speaks about it all. I just love her reviews. But I remember watching that one. That was one of the first times I saw like a video of someone talking about it, and the way that she described how she would have felt as a child seeing a female ranger that didn't wear a skirt, you know, that was sporty, that is a little bit kind of tomboyish. It's making me a bit emotional talking about it now, because for me, that's just such an important thing. As a you know, half brown, half white, essentially girl growing up, I often didn't feel like I saw myself that much on the screen. And I didn't necessarily feel like I fit. I wasn't Indian enough, but I also wasn't white enough. So when I saw someone like Mindy Kaling, who is an Indian American woman who isn't necessarily being portrayed as Indian specifically, but it's still a part of her story, that was huge for me. So to know that I could have been that for kids growing up in that area, or even for adults who never saw that, was like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. The great. It actually got the next question follow up from another fan, but first, Ranger Liz Mayfield, she watched your show, so yeah, we're actually
watch more than you guys know. I watch more than you know.
She's gonna be so excited and ecstatic once she sees it, or I tell her. So like, So David Ortega says, "Hello Tessa, regards from Peru. We have a lot of fans here in Latin America. We are glad us Latins are represented by Izzy Garcia in the series. What do you think about representation, diversity, and Power Rangers?"
Firstly, I think I won't speak on other seasons because I don't think I know enough about full other seasons to make comments, you know. But in terms of our season, I feel really, really proud of the representation and diversity in Power Rangers, not just ethnically, but also the fact that, you know, we've got a woman boss in the show. Jane is just so cool. Solon is a woman. It's really cool to see a cyborg dinosaur being like, I feel like often that can naturally just sit as like a guy. I don't know. I thought Solon was a guy when I first read it. My like psyche just was like, oh, cyborg dinosaur must be a dude. And so the fact that it's actually a woman was like, that's really cool. I don't know if you'd call her a woman though, I guess, if she's a dinosaur, but you know what I mean. Female voiced. And so, yeah, like I'm really proud of the strides they're taking to create a more diverse and representative show. But that just comes down to our writers and our incredible producer Simon, because the whole team really wanted to make that felt that was really important. So I'm very proud.
Yes, definitely. And again, that's what is awesome with Power Rangers representation. Okay, guys, we'll do a few more. Let's see. Hey, guys, repeat. You can't. There's some questions you can't say, guys. Just let you know.
Sorry. I wish I could. You have no idea.
Yeah. Well, it's come a request from this guy. Tessa, please continue. Hello, Joshua.
Josh.
Everett Sanchez. Who was your favorite Green Ranger?
Mighty Morphin to me.
David Frank? David Frank? Yeah, the guy.
I feel like that's the classic. You know? Yes. So you gotta love him.
Definitely. Of course, he's actually one of my favorite Rangers too, so
Sorry, he's one of your favorite Rangers?
Yeah, he's actually one of my top 3 favorite Rangers. He's not number 1, but actually fine, he's number 1. I do have number 2 and 3, but he's down in there.
Alright.
Let's see. Okay. Matt Howard says, Tessa Rao, you're an amazing actress. You are sending a hug to. Oh, okay. Nice.
Thank you. you. These are so nice. This is such an ego boost. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's not really spoiler, but I mean, did you do anything from set? Did you say yes or no, or?
We got to keep some clothes.
Okay.
Like that's part of it. You're allowed. You know, you're allotted kind of a certain number of items of clothing that you can keep. I wish I'd kept my docs, but I wasn't allowed. So like for example.
Oh, she's made something cool.
Whoa.
Okay, guys, this is special. This is special.
Oh my goodness! If I don't drop it, I just dropped it, but I picked it up again. I've got this denim jacket.
Oh my god!
Oh.
I remember that.
So that's one of the items of clothing. In terms of things, I wish I'd stolen something. Like I wish I could say something cool that I'd stolen, but I think I was a bit too scared to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Just the clothes, really.
Wow, it's okay.
Is that boring? Oh, damn it! I should have stolen something.
I mean, no worries. You'll get a helmet in the future soon. Let's see. Oh, Paris Mission, of course. Favorite South Indian food?
Dosa.
Oh, you like dosa? So do I.
That's just that my aji makes like the best, and it takes time too. Like it's not something you can make quickly. It takes time for like the batter to like ferment. I believe it is actually what it is, which sounds really awful, but it's honestly the most delicious thing. And there's a dessert called gulab jamun.
Yes.
There's like they're so good. But there's a lot, but those are probably my top two. Yeah.
Let's see. You guys, are you for? Okay, Roderick, Dylan, Meeks. Love your accent. I enjoy watching the show. Hope you something. Aw, yes.
I hope so. I can't wait for like some cons. Like I want to be live, and I want to be there in America, and I want to come to all the conventions, and I want to say hey. I'm holding out for it.
Yes. We'll do a formal greetings. David Elisa says hi. Hi, David. Bob Kawado. He says, oh, Rao is also named of. So you're a sun god. You're Superman's weakness.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know this. Do you know we were doing it? I was doing a family quiz. We do like a weekly Zoom quiz with my family, and one of us is like the quiz master each time. And I'm actually the quiz master tonight, and I still haven't done my questions, so wish me luck. But one of the questions that was posed last week was like, what's this planet from what show? And one of the options was Krypton, and one of them that they put in was Refcon. Like my family put in Refcon as well, and I felt so stoked. I was like, that's ours. Oh. So there you go. Now I know a bit more about Krypton.
It's asking. I called from episode 1 that you would rip, but I think it was.
Do you know, I feel like Izzy would feel the same way. My kind of thing was, this is more fabric that will make my like athletic ability inhibited in some way. Why would I keep this on me? That was always kind of my thing, as well as the fact that she's not super into skirts. I was like, this doesn't make sense. As Izzy, I was like, this doesn't make sense, you know? But, so that's a good call on your part.
Yeah. He's asking.
Okay.
Ooh.
I've got them here. I'm ready. I wrote them down. I really thought about this. Okay, so my red would be Jason from Mighty Morphin. Okay. My blue would be Coda from Dino Charge.
Yoshi, all right.
Yoshi's incredible, and we've played Super Mario Brothers together. And I'm terrible, and he's really, really good.
Tessa.
The boys played way more. I would jump in every so often and play like a pity game, and I lost every time. Yellow, Trini.
Of course.
Got to. I've actually got pink and white, but I'm gonna go with white because she is played by a New Zealander who I knew before I was in the show. Who Zoe Robbins plays her, Hayley in Ninja Steel. And I remember meeting her, and she'd either just finished or was in her break between shooting the show. I think she might have been in her Christmas break when I met her.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking she was just the loveliest human being, and I still do. So I would want her on my team. And then I would choose, and this is my specific one, Dylan from RPM, because he was played by Dan Ewing, who played Heath Braxton in Home and Away. And I was obsessed with that show, and I was obsessed with the Braxtons. So I'd want him on my team.
No.
So it's kind of cool. Well, your crushes, and now you're in the same show as he was. So legacy, baby, legacy there.
There you go. I'm ready.
Now, of course, let's do one more, guys, because we're getting out of time. Let's see. Let's do a special one. Let's do a special one. This guy. I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy.
Who is that? Oh my goodness. Yes, Izzy is the only ranger that's in high school. All of the others are out of high school.
Huh? Actually, that is kind of cool now, because like usually like the Rangers are actually like, I mean, of course Zeta's like 1,000 years old, but like, yeah, this is the first season. Like, you actually
Actually.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Like other seasons, like, you know, it's all one age, but now I'm like, yeah, think about it. Yeah, kind of cool. Interesting.
Yeah, so I believe we kind of spoke about the fact that originally Harvey was going to be a couple of years older than me, but then we kind of within the team realized that it would make the most sense for Zato to be the oldest, even though he's like definitely the oldest, like in terms of like his presenting age. So I think they're kind of all 18, 19, and then I'm 17. At least in the first season.
Yes. I
But
mean,
yeah, high school throughout.
I kind of did suspect you're like your real teenager because, you know, selfie, Boomer. Hey, Boomer was like,
No.
you're a teenager, like, you're still a teenager. I know.
And also, I'm the shortest, so I feel like I'll look at photos and be like, yeah, she looks the youngest because I'm way shorter than all of them.
Yeah, because like I feel because even my own nephew, he's like 14, he calls me Boomer. I'm like,
Really?
are you kidding me, kid? Is like, I'm only like, what, 10, 12 years older? He's like, yeah, you're a Boomer. Like,
Somebody called me a boomer the other day because I didn't know how to like TikTok or Instagram live or something, and someone was like, "You're a boomer," and I was like, "No, excuse me, I get to say that. I don't get that said to me. No, not yet. Come on."
Oh, if anyone calls me that, then that means I can bring I can just bring the explosion, and you just lost your spark. Like that.
Yeah, like, you want to fight? Let's go.
You lost your spark. I got the dynamites.
I'll get my javelin out. Maybe I stole the javelin. I've been lying this whole time.
we'll do one. Josh was saying, "Help you." Yes, we will have her back once it's all done.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, once it's all done. This actually will do one more. It's actually a really good question. Have you been to India?
I have, yes. I went to India when I was 14, 15, with my family. And we went to a couple of different places. We went to a wedding there, which was incredible, and a place called Mangalore. And I went to Bangalore, where my dad grew up, and a place called Mysore, where he was born. And so I spent some time there and got to just eat the most incredible food. And it was, oh gosh, it's so different to New Zealand that it was really like a moment of kind of realization of how extensive the world is and how little I'd seen. And unfortunately, I haven't actually had a chance to go back yet. But I really, really want to. And I'd love to do like a more extensive trip over more of India if I could, and see a lot more, because that was quite a kind of family trip where I met a lot of people and saw the real India, and I'd quite like to do some of the cool things around other places as well, and then go back there. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my friend here's asking DC or Marvel.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Marvel.
Let's go. That's right. DC fanboys. I'm kidding. Let's go. I mean,
I like DC. I think there's more of Marvel that I've watched and enjoyed, probably.
Yeah, 'cause Spider-Man's not a great character. You know what's funny? The trailer was supposed to come out today for Spider-Man, so I don't know.
Yeah.
He said
Do you know I was on because I watched this. I don't know if you've seen Normal People.
yeah, I know.
I did a marathon with a couple of my friends in LA yesterday. Like watched the whole thing while on FaceTime or Zoom with them. And about 10 minutes into the first episode, they asked me to stop because it had been leaked. And they wanted to see if they could get it before it got taken down. And then they were kind of like, actually, no, we want to enjoy this when it's properly meant to be out. So they stopped trying. But I didn't even realize until that moment. I was like, wait, what? New Spider-Man trailer? So now I'm really excited to see it. I can feel that you've got a lot of emotions about this.
Maybe I did see it. I did. It's a grainy one, guys. Like, I did see it. I did see the leak. This guy is trying to like.
Shame.
Shut up. Anyway.
No one has to know. It's not like we're live or anything. Oh, wait.
Oh yeah. Hey, I don't think any spoilers. I'll just say it's leaked. That's all I said. I'm not saying some stuff. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm excited to. Were you happy? Am I allowed to ask that? Yeah. Okay.
I'm like,
Okay, I'm gonna load up my my web shooters and just.
This is so sick to be able to swing.
I would just like shoot my web on Ryan like mouth like shh, don't say anything.
what's funny? Like me and Clement went to Avengers Campus and we actually did buy the web shooters. But Ryan's like, oh my god, it's so cool. Like I would keep playing with that all the time at the park. It's like.
That's one of the things like. Spider-Man was really one of the first ones I fell in love with, and I just remember being fascinated by that idea of being able to do that. It would be so much fun.
Yes. All right, so that's pretty. Oh, one more from our member, Kent Brown. He's asking.
Look, I'm in lockdown, so I've got time.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, let's go. He's asking about, did you keep your saber-tooth statue?
Oh no, I wish. Do you know, I really tried to find my brain. There it is. I really trying to find a way in my brain of how I could make it work. I was like, firstly, I'd have to get permission to get it. Okay, but let's just pretend like I've got it now. Where would I put it? And that was the moment where I went, I can't do this. There's nowhere in this country that I could just prop up that massive saber-toothed tiger. But I mean, one day maybe I'd quite like if I, get the nice house that I can imagine in my head in 30, 40 years if I'm at, if that's even possible. And I've got a massive backyard to just recreate that saber-tooth tiger and have it in my backyard. Maybe as at the front of the house to try to warn away warn away criminals.
Oh. Why not?
I don't know. It would attract them more to the house. I don't know. I haven't thought it through clearly, but I wish.
Okay, there's another question you could say, Tessa. It's kind of broad. You could say, my name is Christian from NYC. My question is, what's your most fun one so far being a Power Ranger? Okay. And hope to meet you one day in Morphing.
I hope I meet you too. Hi. The most memorable moment. I have to say, one of the ones that will always stay in my mind is when I first met the Rangers, because they all already, like I say, I came late, so they already knew each other. And I walked in that morning. It was a Thursday morning, and I walked in and saw them all training with the rest of the stunt team. And I was a ball of nerves. I was so scared. I just felt so nervous and excited and so many emotions going on. And I remember Hunter at the end of the room looking up and seeing me and going, and I was right, I think that's the Pink Ranger. And then slowly the others, as they were stopping whatever they were doing, noticed, and they almost immediately had a break, and they all came over to me and they all said hi, and they were so lovely and so excited to meet me. And then Chance and Kai invited me and the rest of us around for a dinner that night, and I got to meet their partners and their children, and we all had this massive meal and got to know each other, and I felt so comfortable and just so excited and like grateful for the 8-9 months that was about to be ahead of me, because they were just so sweet and so lovely. So that's always going to stick in my brain, is that first moment. Yeah.
And like your reveal too was cool. So I remember when you guys got first revealed, I was like, there you go.
And my Luigi outfit.
Courtesy of our mysterious friend here who's shadowing me. Just kidding. Love you, Brandon. Mwah. So okay. All right. Oh, I think this is your friend. Tessa. No. Because I usually only do that with someone we know that these guys sounds like, Okay.
My laptop's at 8% right now.
Oh, 8%. Okay.
I'm so scared it's gonna die on you.
No worries. Okay, so before we leave, that's pretty much it. So Tessa, can you do your morph for us?
Oh yeah, I wish I had the my morpher and my key, but I can. Okay, are you ready? Do you want to say it's morphin time?
Yes. All right, it's morphin time. It's morphin time.
Dino Fury key. Activate. Link to Morphin grid.
Awesome, congrats.
It's really weird doing it like sitting down and without everything. You forget how to do it after a while.
So before we leave, Tessa, where can you find you on social media?
I've just started TikTok, so I've got a lot of drafts still to be posted, but that is, let me actually just look for sure, because it's still new to me. See, I am kind of a boomer. Hate to admit it. Yeah, that's just at Tessa.Rao. And then my Instagram's at Tessa_Rao, RAO. And what else am I on? I'm going to get a Twitter at some point. People keep being on me about that, Jordan especially. But that'll happen. But apart from that, that's kind of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Clement, where can they find you on social media?
Oh, you guys can find me on Instagram, CLeao1031, and hanging around the Morphin Network. I'm always there.
You can find me on Instagram, DancerBoy247. Please follow us Morphin Network at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you, Tessa, for being our special guest. It was an honor having you. And we're excited for the next episode and basically the next season, and basically what's in store for us. So we're excited. Okay, guys, have a happy Monday here, Tuesday there in New Zealand or the world. So this is Morphin Network. We're signing out. Bye, guys. Oh, look at that. Wave it eye. Wave it eye. I'm proud. Wave it proud.
Today's Morphin Network video is brought to you by Karson's Korner. Karson's Korner is a black LGBTQ owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises. These franchises include King of the Hill, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and of course, most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at www.carsonscorner.com.